I did. I got my wood thing.
It's like, yeah, it's
Wood.
I mean, to be honest, I mean, it kind of looks like one of those egg crate things, but like made out of wood.
Wood egg crate.
It's a wood.
Going
yeah,
old school.
I mean, that's how they did it back in the Middle Ages. I think when they would. In fact, I think in Impressions of France, when they are when you're riding that cart down the middle of the little village street, the eggs that they're transporting are probably secured in something like that, some apparatus like that.
In fact, you're actually riding on an egg crate.
Oh.
Egg crates were not only wooden, but they had wheels and were pulled by animals.
Interesting.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know that, but
it doesn't seem like the most comfortable form of transport.
It wasn't, and that's why we call it, the Dark Ages.
It's always weird when we record at a different time of day.
Yeah, it is. It's like there's too much sunlight going on here.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about. Yeah, even you have sunlight. Look at that.
And then my blinds are as closed as they get, too. That's
that sounds like a euphemism of some sort, but I don't want to really pursue it.
That's my mental outlook. Blinds as close as they get.
How was your trip?
It was good. Yeah, we hiked up to the top of Mount LeConte. Or perhaps LeConte. I'm not sure which one it is, but it's in the Smoky Mountains. Is
it French mountain?
It is. When you're walking up, instead of going like crunch, 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 it goes scroll, scroll, scroll. But yeah, it's a good hike, and we spent the night up at the top in these little cabins that they have up there. It was really cool.
Interesting. You know, the when you look at it on Google Maps, the satellite view of it, it looks kind of similar to those that stuff, that material that you can put plants in. It's like foam.
It's a weird collapsible foam. It doesn't spring back.
Right, and I always like to stick my finger in it when I was a kid.
I love it. That's the feeling of it. It's really
which I'm sure isn't not good for it.
Yeah, that's probably not what you're supposed to do.
But
you're supposed to jam flowers in there, though. It does look like that.
Yeah. Do they still make it? I feel like maybe it was made of lead, and that's why they don't really have that anymore.
Yeah, we had some just recently, and Emily made a rose thing with it.
Huh. Nick, well, there you go.
It doesn't. It's weird how you don't see that stuff anywhere else. It's not used in any other capacity other than jamming flowers into. At least not that I know of.
Well, I see LeConte Lodge.
Yeah, that's where we stayed, LeConte Lodge.
And then there's a Mount LeConte Trail shelter, which seems less luxurious.
Could be probably in the same spot. It's one of those things, though, that where you have to do almost a lottery thing every year. And then they give you your date that you're going up, because it's very popular apparently. And so if you're not ready to go on that date, then you ain't going.
So there's actually, interestingly enough, there is a a street view kind of thing from that shelter spot.
Oh, really?
But the weird thing is that there's another. Okay, but I gotta send this. It's taken from the ground, as if someone
camera on the ground
fell down and accidentally took the shot, and then Google. It's like maybe this was the person's last shot. This was it. There's another person close by who's also squatting, but in the sun.
You do need to send this to me.
And it makes me think, were they ducking for cover or something? But then this gets better. It gets better when you turn around and kind of look into the sun. There's a sign that says privy.
Privy.
And I'm hoping that's not what the guy squatting is up to.
This isn't the designated privy area.
I gotta. I'm sending this to you right now. And there's a button to report a problem. I feel like I probably should report a problem.
So somebody's clearly in danger here.
And this was posted. Oh, the name of the person who posted it there too, which is interesting. Like, why this shot? I don't understand.
The ground. Yeah, it's definitely on the ground. Yeah, those look like the cabins.
But they're not. But these are. I don't know.
Like one of the cabins. But I don't see Captain Squatty.
Really, I mean, turn around.
Maybe I haven't looked in the right direction yet.
You got to turn around. You have to keep turning around.
Oh, there he is. Yeah.
There he is, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And then there's another person who looks like he's maybe hopping over a bench or something there.
Yeah.
Like something was going on. I don't know why this person was on. Why would you take the picture on the ground?
I guess maybe
it's not even level.
Put a 360 camera on like a little tripod or something.
But it's not even level. I don't.
Well, clearly I should have taken my camera up there and done a better job of that.
This is.
It was raining though. That was the problem. It rained on us a good bit while we were doing it, so we were a little wet.
Okay.
Took all my camera gear and stuff, and I was hoping to get some good shots, but there was. I got one or two, but for the most part, it was kind of rainy, and you find out why they call them the Smoky Mountains. That's for sure, because
it's foggy.
Yeah, like the vista was like a big white view. It was almost like you were on a.
Is that because it's humid, or because of the fog?
Well, both, I think.
Okay, I guess the fog is humid. I mean, by definition, right?
Just fog is humid, but humid isn't necessarily fog. So
dude, you have to go back and you have to take your 360 camera and you have to improve this because even the photo from the lodge area it's terrible. It's a different person who did it, and I don't understand what the problem is here with these people.
And I don't know what that guy, the original one, Mr. Squatty, I don't know what his goal was to try to capture of this area. It's like, this is the area you feel like you need to communicate to people?
I think he was capturing his last moment.
Yeah, they think so? That was him on his way out, and he was like,
or his last
this will
movement.
be my legacy. This will be my swan song.
Yeah,
it was Google Street View image that is
maybe it was one of those like desperate attempts to send a picture out of where he was in case so they could send when they sent out the search and rescue.
Cops, and he accidentally submitted it to Google.
Well, I mean, maybe he has an app that just like goes sends it all out. I don't know. But there's another picture from this is a terrible stitch job on a 360, but it's this other picture from one of these cabins. And dude, if this is what you stayed in, I got to commend you. This looks like something out of a horror movie, and I'm sending this to you as well. You have to see it, and we have to post these because it's unbelievable. Yeah. And I feel like this is where we need to go on some Halloween adventure at some point because
okay, got to see this,
dude. I don't even feel safe looking at this picture. I feel like I'm going to get a splinter in my fingers as I move this picture around.
Oh yeah. That is a terrible stitch job.
But is that the type of building you're in?
That looks like the main cab, like where we went to check in.
That's the main cabin?
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. That's the place you go to check in.
And how are the other places in comparison?
Just like this, but smaller.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you are staying in the Wild West. I mean, it's a no electricity. We had a kerosene lamp in our room, in our cabin, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what's weird about it. Even more so than all that is that it had bunk beds, but the bunk beds were double beds.
I'm inside one now.
It's a double bed bunk bed, which is
this looks like it has a cot too, like another little bed, like another little bed on the grid. So
it's like there's not enough room for two people.
And is that the toilet? There's a little bucket.
Well, I do have no. The bucket is for if you want to get like hot water to wash your face or something like that. You get it in the bucket. They did have flush toilets, but they were in a kind of like going to the toilet building.
Oh, there's a LeConte pit toilet.
Yeah, you don't want that. That's for like day hikers that don't have the reservation to use the cabins. Okay. Pit toilet, like if it has the word pit in it, you don't want any part of that.
Well, I mean, I assume it's just like a rudimentary spot-a-pot or something, right?
Well, it's a hole in the ground with a board over it. Inside a thing. So.
Oh my.
Welcome to Jason Looks at Google Maps.
This is spooky. I'm sorry. This is spooky. It's spooky. There's nothing about this isn't spooky. Nothing. Even the garden looks spooky.
It is spooky.
Sunflower. How do you make sunflowers look spooky? I don't know. They've managed to do it.
If it's gonna happen, it'll happen in the Appalachian Mountains.
And it is smoky looking. You know, it's like it's got that foggy look to it too. And yeah, so it's well, good for you. And how long did it take? So where do you start? Did I ask you?
You start. Well, there's a bunch of different trails that actually go up there, and they're kind of varying.
Where did you start?
We did the Alum Cave Trail, and so it was about 5 miles, I guess, of hiking.
Because there's Boulevard Trail. There's the what's that? Trillium Trail, like Trillium Gap Trail.
Trillium Gap.
There's the Alum Cave Trail. I see it. I see it.
Alum Cave is the one that we did.
And that looks like it. Oh, windy. It's very windy. I guess those are switchbacks of some sort.
Yeah, yeah. If you try to go straight up, that would suck.
but doable. Did you go to Alum Cave?
Apparently, we did. It's not so much a cave as it is an area where there's a rock overhang.
I see that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's like a little amphitheater.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Oh, and there's somebody posted a video in this area of the little bridge that you cross. Oh, that's pretty. Look at that.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous place.
Look at that stream. Oh, I need to go here and get some video.
Mm-hmm.
This is beautiful. I mean, this part doesn't look spooky at all. It's like a spooky payoff is what you get.
Right. You work real hard and here's your spook.
Inspiration Point is along the way, which is also pretty. And then Arch Rock, which is it's fairly inspiring point.
It's Inspiration Point. I don't know. Inspiration Dash, perhaps.
And then Alum Cave Bluffs Trailhead. Is that where Alum Cave Bluffs Trailhead parking? Is that where you parked?
Probably.
Okay. And you left your vehicle there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Your Tesla?
Overnight. No,
we
flew in to Asheville, North Carolina, and drove over in a rental.
Okay.
And so we left the rental down there.
And it's fine.
It was, yeah. I mean, I guess it's pretty deep inside of the Smoky Mountains National Park. So
no hook on the door when you got back.
No, there on the door was a hook. That didn't happen, unfortunately.
Okay.
I was hoping to have a story like that to tell, but oh well, maybe next time.
So this is interesting. And Emily's done this before, right?
Yeah, she's been up a few times with a friend of hers from back in the day. But this is the first time I had been up there.
And how long does it take to hike up there?
It's about 2.5 hours, maybe.
Elevation change is what?
I'd have to look. It's a decent amount, I think.
Why guess when we can know? Let's see. I'm going to look it up. We go down to the trailhead. I should be able to put a little pin there. And it says that. It's not telling me. No, well. How about them apples?
I've got it on my phone, but I'm using my phone for something else right now. So
that's it. Oh, really?
Oh, that's.
Are you multitasking?
I got it up on my teleprompter thing.
Yeah, I got you. What people don't know is that this is all pre-scripted. Everything we talk about.
Yeah. It took a long time to script this out, right?
It's a challenge, and it's a little demented.
Just a little.
Oh, interesting. Oh, this is close to Gatlinburg.
Yeah. We stayed in Gatlinburg the night before.
So, anything interesting happened? I mean, like any like weird stuff or
nothing weird,
spooky
really.
Stuff maybe.
They were under some COVID guidelines, so we most of the stuff that usually happened was like there's a dining hall, and you would go in there and like meet all the rest of the people that are up there, and that's supposedly pretty fun. But they brought the food to the cabins instead, which was okay. It was good. I mean, it was pretty normal.
Well, so you got room service, is what you're saying?
Cabin service, yeah, basically.
Well, that's perfect. What's wrong with that? That sounds like an improvement to me.
Well, I mean, it's the thing is that once you get up there, it's almost shocking how little there is to do.
But that's the idea, man, right? That's
well,
the idea.
Sort of. But I mean, like,
you're with your thoughts, which
yeah, but as we've covered before, that's horrifying, right? That's why we we don't want to go even into the toilet without carrying our phone with us.
Yeah, but I wouldn't take it to the pit. That's for sure. That's never coming back.
No, yeah, you don't want that unless you got a good like lanyard around your wrist or something. But yeah, so yeah, it's you walk around and there's a cool like summit area that you can watch the sunrise or the sunset from. That's really beautiful, unless the entire place is covered in fog. At which point it's just more fog,
diffused light.
Right? Yeah, you're like, I can stand here and see fog from horizon to horizon, or I can go out there and see fog that actually goes down below me too, because
but there's some beauty in that, right?
I guess it's sort of you feel like you're in that area of the Matrix where they have to sort of stage all of the stuff and it's just a white nothingness. It was kind of like that, being on a mountain in that.
Yeah. I'm trying to think where it was in Colorado that I went with a friend of mine who we got up at it seemed like crazy early in the morning. It must have been 4:30 or something, 4 o'clock in the morning to drive. We had started in Crested Butte, and then we drove, I don't know, she drove, and it was, like I said, crazy early, so very dark, and we were trying to catch a sunrise in this spot that didn't end up really turning into much of a sunrise because it was, I guess, foggy-ish or something, or cloudy or whatever. It was winter, or not winter. I mean, it wasn't winter, it's fall, but in Colorado, that's practically winter.
Right.
And so it turned out to be kind of a bust from like the lighting you want to try to catch on these like mountains and stuff. But it's just it just seemed to me like, wow, this was a lot of work to be cold. Do you know what I mean? Like, because when we got to where, it was a lot of work to get to where we were going, and then you had to walk down this trail, and there's a lot of guessing, like, are we in the right place, kind of thing too, because it's pitch black and the signage isn't great, and then there were like no trespassing, so like we're like potentially we're dangerously close to private property at some points where then of course I'm thinking we're going to get shot, right? Like Grand Mesa, that's what it was called, Grand Mesa. I have some pictures I can share with you too, and it was beautiful in the end, but you didn't get the sunrise thing that you'd want to catch anyway. So it's like but I think that's part of the process with these adventures, especially if you're looking to do photography or video or something. You go out and you put a lot of effort into it, and then you get there and you're like, well, something will be interesting to.
Right. Yeah. It's all down to like how do you adapt to sort of less than ideal circumstances, and where do you find the little nuggets of gold in the mound of poop that you're handed.
And here we are back in the privy. Knew it was going to happen. Well, that's good. And so you were up there for how many? Was it just a single night,
overnight,
or was okay? And what is it? Do you mind if I ask what it costs to do that?
I don't know. Actually, Emily handled all of that. And it was a thing secret that she registered for like last October. Like it's one of those things where you have to.
It's hard to get.
It's pretty powerful. It's pretty popular. So you want to get in the lottery or whatever as soon as you can, and then you're just sort of given a date, and then you go. And some people do stay 2 nights up there. But like I was saying, I mean, if hiking isn't really your deal and you kind of feel like you might need an extra day to recover from the hike up, which is decently strenuous. I mean, it's not a cakewalk. It's pretty strenuous. Then by all means do that. But understand that you got to bring like a book.
What does a cakewalk mean anyway?
I'm not entirely sure.
You're like, what is a cakewalk?
I seem to remember cakewalk being a phrase used for one of those things at a fair where like you would go through and like the ground would move a little bit. It's sort of like a weird little obstacle course, kind of, but it wasn't
really.
Yeah, and I don't remember if that was like just a brand of this one.
A cakewalk is supposed to be easy.
Well, that's what I mean. Is that I think that maybe it's something that you were supposed to like carry a cake while you're walking on. And if you drop the cake, then you lose or whatever. But
I think
it was also done to where people didn't lose. I don't know. I have no idea. Clearly, I have no clue.
I like that you attempted it, though.
I don't know. That's good. Trying to use some context clues here or something.
That's nice. No, it's good. It's good. So then you just turn around, walk back down the hill, get in your car, go back to the airport, and fly back.
Well, we went back to our friend's house in Nashville and showered. Lord have mercy.
You weren't doing the bucket thing?
No. I was going to stay away from the bucket. But yeah, no, that first shower after you get done with a thing like that is so amazing. Oh, man,
I feel like that when I come back from Disney World.
Yeah, especially in the summer. That's for sure.
That shower. Cool.
I am heavily salted.
I'm gonna wash Disney off of me. We went to Epcot yesterday.
In
the evening, and late afternoon, I guess, is when we went over there, and it was not crowded at all. It was weird, man.
Here from Charlotte, and a hub was like 20% full. Like folks ain't coming to. I guess summer's over. I suppose
summer's over, and also COVID.
Well, yeah, there's that. But,
and people are like,
it doesn't always keep away the people, though.
No, but I think there are a lot of trips being canceled. And I've only anecdotally heard about travel agents who've had a lot of canceled trips to handle, and it meant that everything was almost a walk on. Like even Soarin' was practically a walk on. Yeah, most of the wait on Soarin' was what I call an in-process wait. So, it was after you get up to that spot where they tell you either to go to concourse A, B, or C, and then you go down that path. And then there was some waiting at that point, like in the corrals, and the first corral, and then the second corrals But we go in, and you know how I am about the seating with impressions. I am pretty close to that as it relates to Soarin' as well. Yeah. Especially with Soarin' Around the World, because if you don't get a good spot there, everything's curvy. Yes. And so as much as I like the curves, not in my architecture.
Yeah.
Unless it's like Salvador Dali or something.
Which the Eiffel Tower practically is a Dalian shape.
Well, in the movie, in the Soarin' Around the World, absolutely. Yeah. So is the Taj Mahal.
This should be a friggin' pocket watch melting off the top of that thing.
So, but I go in and I say to my family, I announce, you know what? I'm not going to worry about where we sit. And they all looked at me incredulously. And I'm like, no, seriously, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to say a thing. I'm not going to ask the cast member to go to circle. I'm just not going to worry about it. We'll get what we get. And we won't get upset. And I know how you feel about that rhyme. And so we go in there, and guess what? We get the middle. Like we get dead center.
Oh yeah,
perfect, dead center. It was great.
So like the second row of the second. The three
second conch or corral or whatever. Yeah.
Cool.
B. So we got second row of B. Yeah, it was. You couldn't ask for a better spot with this particular version. And
awesome.
So that was nice. And I went shoeless, of course. Yeah, it was a little weird because I had this other like stranger on the one side of me, and so I'm like, I don't care. What you gonna do?
This is my thing.
And I'm pretty sure I noticed her like pointing at my feet out to her. Whoever she was with.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't care. It might have been because I was swinging them.
No, you do. Well, perhaps. Yeah. Do you know when you're at the place? Do you wear like pretty easily removed footwear? Or okay.
Oh yeah. No, I take my socks off and everything. No.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. You unlacing stuff and hold up.
Yeah. But it doesn't matter. Like you could be wearing the easiest thing to slip on or off. When you for whatever reason, when you finish that attraction, everything gets constricted or something. Like your shoes shrink, and that little storage area under the seat gets smaller somehow.
Yeah.
So whatever you stuck in there doesn't come out as easily as it went in.
Yeah, 10 times.
I don't know what
happens.
happens.
What's put in? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't make any sense, but and then you feel rushed because they're bringing. You can see them bringing the new people in. You're like, I'm still here. It's like someone walking into the bathroom when you're in the bathroom. You're like, so it's occupied.
Don't come in.
Yeah, it's occupied.
I'm here.
Do you, when somebody knocks on the door and you're in the bathroom and you know you've locked the door and like someone knocks on it, do you say anything?
Yeah, I was like, hey, or whatever. Like, yeah.
I mean, I feel like, I don't know. I get nervous. No, I don't know what to say. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, it's locked. You don't have to knock. It's locked.
Yeah. Did somebody lock it and then crawl out under the little space? Like, that's an elaborate
I went out the
gross prank to pull for like very little return.
Yeah, out the window or something. And I don't understand. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I just feel like it's a ridiculous feeling to have where you're like, here, someone's in here. Like, I don't want to talk to you. And I can't yell, leave me alone.
Be gone.
But it's like that kind of it's weird pressure when people are coming into Sora and you're trying to anyway. And then it's like a mad it's so organized getting on there. I mean, they have you single file. It's like elementary school. Walk on the line. And then when it's over, like get out. Yeah,
they don't care how you get out. You walk in a line, but you do the Muppet.
It's this mad rush. Same with same thing with Star Tours. You get on Star Tours in Hollywood City. When that's finished, it's a nightmare.
I get all turned around when I come out. It's not always obvious which direction I need to go to leave. And I go,
why do they have to finish all of them at the same time? They're independent systems. Like, I don't understand.
That is weird that happens a lot. Yeah.
Like,
you'd think they'd want to stagger them so they would have sort of a more constant flow of the people in the line.
It's like when you're at the airport and you're in a particular concourse that is relatively empty, but so there's like 2 flights flying out and they've somehow just decided to put both of them in the same area.
Yeah.
And so you have like 400 people crowding into this spot when the rest of there's so many other gates that are just vacant.
But gate 2 and 3 are both, heading to Singapore and have 600 people in each.
Like, the mechanics can't walk an extra 50 feet. Like, I don't understand. Yeah, why do they do? It's got to be about baggage handling.
Probably.
Or something.
Yeah. Or like you said, like mechanics, you don't want to. You want to be able to pull the truck that has the crappy food on it to one spot and load both planes.
They don't even attempt to give you food anymore, Marcus. They have these,
I haven't been on a flight long
even
enough.
In business class now, they give you these little, it's like you get these little box lunch options. It's not even lunch. It's like boxed, and you have to make this you have to make this decision between things that are ridiculous. Like when I was on this flight I think I flew Delta out to I have to look this up. Delta in-flight meals currently, like the COVID meals is what I'm calling them, because they're literally these little box lunches. And if you get upgraded, you get upgraded to first class or something, you expect like, oh, that's good. I'm going to get whatever. And nope. No. The answer is no. You're basically getting the snacks that you used to be able to buy in coach, which fine. But it's like, I should take a picture of it one of these days because it's not in the website. Look, they're just lying on the website about what it is. I mean, they're like lying. I mean, but what you get, this little thing, like you have to choose, like, do you want cheese or do you want beef jerky? Not even beef jerky, like a beef stick, like the stick of meat or something. It's ridiculous.
Stick o' meat.
And like, how about a dessert? Do you maybe have like some fruit? An apple? Remember when we can get an apple? Like,
you can get an apple flavored stick o' meat.
It's pretty bad. I'm not going to waste any time.
But we actually got bumped to first class for our Charlotte to MCO flight, and we just got we got our choice of drink or whatever, but it wasn't anything unusual. And then we got basically generic Chex Mix. It's like we didn't even get the friggin' Bischoff cookies.
No, I'm telling you, everything. Mix. Remember when we went way back? I don't remember on what episode, but I was like, the excuse is going to be COVID.
Yeah, they used to bring you the basket, and you chose like all the stuff, and like Stroopwafels and stuff would be in there. But nope. Here's your Chex Mix. Mm-hmm. And that's goes great with coffee. And I was like, let's take some coffee. And then, okay, here's your coffee and here's your Chex Mix. Nothing goes worse with coffee than friggin' Chex Mix. I mean, aside from like raw fish. I mean, it's like not a good choice. Like you want the Bischoff thing. You want, something a little sweet, something like that. Frickin' pretzels and cheese squares or whatever. No, and cheese squares. It's a Cheez-It.
I mean,
it's a Cheez-It.
I know, we are complaining. We are complaining about the food that we can be served while experiencing the miracle of flight. I get it. I get it. Right. But here's the thing. It's like the Disney stuff. It's not like they reduced the prices.
Right.
Like they took something away without changing the prices. And it's not like I can even understand, like, look, we have to cut costs while we're not loading these planes fully because, I get that too. But you are loading the planes fully.
Yeah.
And we know you're making a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, how many news headlines have we seen talking about, like, airlines
record profits.
Number, blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
Yes. And I'm like, really? So like, now can we bring... it's not like the food was incredible before.
Right.
But it gave you something to do. That's really the biggest thing. It's not the quality of the food. It's that it gave you something to do. Mm-hmm. When you're on American Airlines or like a cross-continental flight, and they would, or transcontinental, whatever. No, what do you call it? It's like, I don't even know what you call it. It must be transcontinental, right? When you're going from, say, California to Florida, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. All right. American Airlines, they used to do an ice cream service.
Whoa! What?
In the latter, in the latter third of the, if you're flying in first class, like the latter third of the trip, there was an ice cream service, and they sundae. They would ask you, "Do you want chocolate? Do you want blah blah?" I was like, it was amazing. Yes. It was great,
yes,
and it
bring
would
me
just
all of them.
And it's just one of those things. And there's some airlines they'll have baked cookies and things like that. I remember Midwest Express was famous for that. Even in coach, you could get these, like they would bake cookies on the airplane, and you could smell them baking. And so it's stuff like that. It just gives you something to do, and gives you a nice little dopamine rush with the ice cream and the chocolate and the stuff, and just none of that's happening anymore. But which is fine. I get it. But just how about you don't charge as much money anyway. I digress. Speaking of food,
yes,
I did send you a picture pin last week.
Yes, you did. Let me take a look at that again. And we are talking about what looks like. All right, so I'll describe what I'm seeing.
Okay.
It's without being able to see anything else, I see what looks like a pretty standard burger setup on the left. You got a bun, you got a tomato, you got some lettuce. I don't actually see any meat there, but I do see the bottom bun.
It's a veggie burger, so it's in there, I think.
Okay. Then on the right...
this might have been my attempt at making a veggie burger. I don't know. Yeah.
On the right, I see kind of the same situation. You got some lettuce here, but I'm looking at the bottom bun on the top.
Yeah,
and that's maybe the thing. English muffin or something.
That's the bottom one. So what happened? This has happened multiple times recently, and I don't understand what's going on. I'm a little nervous about it. Like maybe I have some kind of something's happened in my brain. But when I'm assembling the burgers, I'm even trying to be mindful of these things, and so the condiments go directly onto the top of the burger thing or veggie patty or whatever you use, or they go onto the lid.
Okay, yeah.
And then you do a little flipping action, right? well, I've done this, and this has happened multiple times recently, where when I do the flippy flip thing, invariably I end up with the bottom of at least like one of them on the top. And
the bottom on the top?
The bottom's on the top. So I can't just flip. And then now the problem is, like, I don't know what to do. Like, do I now eat this with the bottom on the top? Which is just a different mouthfeel, right? Or do I flip it, but now the condiments are on the bottom,
right?
Which is also going to be different.
Yeah, that is kind of weird, isn't it? Like with the tomatoes and the lettuce underneath the burger part. That's weird.
You would right, and you wouldn't think it would make a difference, right? But it does make a difference, and it's this conundrum that I'm in. Like I don't know what to. Anyway, so it happened, and I brought it up because it's happened multiple times, but I didn't know whether it was just me, like thinking that I'm just as normal, I'm just overthinking it, or whether you would also face the same conundrum. Like I don't know what to do in this situation.
Now, is this in like restaurants, or is this you making your own stuff?
This is me making my own thing. No, people in restaurants know how to do it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, sometimes they'll bring you the weird, like, deconstructed burger or whatever that you're supposed to put together yourself, kind of.
Right. And they charge extra for that.
Yeah, no. Just, if you're going to put the thing together yourself, then we're going to have to charge you for that.
Right. It's like fondue or right. Anytime you have to cook your own food, they charge you extra for that.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. It's a union thing, maybe. But yeah. So you're doing your thing, and you ended up turned around, hamburger.
And it kind of ruins it. Like it kind of. I mean, now I'm just self-conscious about the whole. The whole thing.
It's a bizarre upside down burger that you have to figure out how to cope with, essentially, and it's causing stress.
Yeah.
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 I can see that.
Yeah. Yeah. So that just happened, but it was on a particularly like stressful day as it was, because this was the same day that I got this weird email. It was actually a text message that led to a series of emails about wedding attire.
Oh.
And
like custom, like everybody's trying to do something specific, or just what is appropriate?
Oh God! Well, this is what happened. So I'm in this wedding. I'm supposed to be in this wedding. Like, no, I'm going to be in this wedding.
Unless they kick you out.
Well, there's always a good chance of that. And it's in Colorado. It's with the friend who got me up early to go to the mountain. Anyway,
a chance to take them back.
Right. And I get this text. I'm trying to find the text from the person because it's really disturbing. And this person says, and this is somebody I haven't really talked to in a long time. Here it is. I'm not going to say her name, but she said, I just got off the phone with Kim, who's my friend, and we were talking about wedding outfits. Now I got to go back. I got to go back and explain to you that on the wedding, on the wedding site, on the page itself, which I'm going to jump to right now, so I can, because they have this wedding page thing, and you go to, and they make this whole, they explain that this is basically going to be, like relaxed. Mm-hmm. It's in the mountains. It's like. It's just, they're very just relaxed people, right? It's just, you can tell, like, it's not meant to be very formal, is what it seems like, right? They even say, like, this for the ceremony, they have, here's the instruction: Colorado casual. And having lived in Colorado, like, I understand what that means. It basically means like whatever you're comfortable in. Colorado casual, anything goes from sundresses and sandals to jeans and tees. Keep in mind that fall weather in the Rocky Mountains can be unpredictable. Be prepared and dress in layers. Okay, right. So we're with that. Okay, now what happens? I get this text message, and this text message, hi, this is so and so. Just got off the phone with Kim, and we were talking about wedding outfits. Since you and I will be standing side by side, during the ceremony. I just wanted to make sure that whatever I wear doesn't completely clash with what you are wearing. I'm getting nervous already because now I'm thinking, Yeah. And then she says, do you know yet what you plan to wear?
And when is the wedding?
September 21st or something like that.
Okay. So a good
or 22nd.
Decent way away.
Yeah.
I'll know when I pack.
I don't know what I'm I don't know what I'm going to have. Well, actually I do know what I'm having for dinner tonight. But most of the time I don't even know. I don't know what I'm doing 10 minutes from now.
Yeah. I'll figure it out when I pack because that'll be how I decide. I have to take something. Yet
what you plan to wear? The general color theme. Okay, what?
Color/theme. I like that.
The general color theme is ivory, lavender, and green. Though Kim was quick to say that I can wear a tie-dye shirt and flip-flops if I want to.
And that's one of those things where you have to decide, is she serious when she says you can wear a tie-dye jeans if you want to? Or is it one of those, I will appear to be casual and cool about this, but if you actually do this, I'm going to give you the stank eye and not let you into the photographs.
So then I send a text message to my friend Kim. Mm-hmm. And I say, well, expletive. Julie, this person reached out and asked about what I'm wearing. No, not right now in September. And I said, what do you want me to wear? I'm assuming not one of my many Pixar Hawaiian shirts. And I said, and then she said, she said, LOL, did you read my email? I thought I would beat her to the punch, but I guess not. I'm like, and then I was like, email? Who reads email? So then I went and looked at the email. All right. So I go to this email, right? Dude. She sends me this thing. Uh-huh. And I mean, they like, it's very complicated with like color palette things and like what she's wearing and blah,
like
blah, blah.
Swatches and stuff.
Yeah. Of like what her suit thing's going to look like. And now
that's Colorado like, casual, is it?
Right. Well, I mean, but now I'm thinking, okay, well, of course, because I'm in the wedding, like, right. So maybe like the standard's different, but then she said, as you both know, we're not doing coordinated outfits for the wedding party. I wanted to give you some idea what we're wearing, blah, 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 blah. And it is cool stuff. And she's got these pretty awesome, tie-dye Converse, Chucks that are pretty cool looking. Anyway,
cool. But I'm not coordinated outfits, but she's sending you swatches and stuff.
Right.
So some coordination appears to be required here.
So then I send a text message back to her. It's because I have this conversation there with the person who cuts my hair about this, and I show her the thing, and she's like, "Oh, that's so cool," blah blah blah, and I think she's about to give me the ideas, but she just makes me more stressed out.
Right.
And so now that's not helpful. And so this is on Thursday. And so I reached back out to Kim and I said, so do you want to give me any guidelines in terms of what to wear, like level of formality or color preference, or certainly what not to wear? I can also talk to you this afternoon if you have some time. I'm like, right. Mm-hmm. I said, I don't mind using, I can get playful if you want. But I don't want to ruin any pictures.
Right. Yeah.
And anyway, she never got back to me.
Oh, so you still haven't heard yet?
No. 4 days has gone by. 4 days have gone by. And we have read message. We have read turned on, so I can see that she saw the message.
Yeah.
And now I'm thinking, oh God, I'm stressing her out. She's of course going to be stressed about her own wedding and stuff. And now Jason, who's I'm stressing her out. But I feel like I lose. There's nothing I can do.
Right. Yeah.
Either I'm going to show up and I'm going to be way too formal, or I'm going to be under dressed or going to be. I
and
don't.
You're in Colorado. You can't call an audible on that.
No,
like,
Granby.
Granby.
I'm 2 hours into the mountains from Denver, and yeah, there's no run into Macy's or something and fixing it.
Yeah, like, we're going a little less casual. Let me run to the house real quick and get my other thing. No, there's none of that. You're you're committed.
Yeah.
Unless you want to be, that person that brings like 5 outfits just in case.
I can't be that. It's not.
Right.
I mean, come on. Right. I travel light usually.
Well,
this is crazy. I'm doomed.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
this
you
is
said,
madness.
There's no.
That's what
you're pretty much hosed.
I don't think I've told you about this story. Did I ever tell you about the Blue Law story?
Blue Law story?
Many years ago. So probably 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. We were, Michelle and I were at a wedding in New Jersey, and we were staying the night up there, and so we got a hotel room, and they were running a shuttle between the hotel and the wedding venue. It was a cool wedding because it was this hybrid like Catholic Jewish wedding.
Oh, cool!
And so it was like really really cool, and the reception stuff was like in the same location as where the ceremony was taking place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, always a good choice.
Yeah, and so we get there at the hotel and we get unpacked and blah blah blah. We have plenty of time, and I was sitting around like watching a football game or something while maybe Michelle was getting done. I'm like, okay, I guess I'll start getting done now. Blah blah blah, and I'm getting dressed, and I realize I don't have a shirt. I have my suit.
Oh, man.
I have a tie, belt, socks, shoes. I have no shirt. I have an undershirt. No shirt.
You don't want to pull a Miami Vice and just do the undershirt?
No. And it's Sunday. And at this point in New Jersey, no stores are open on Sundays.
Okay.
There is no going to...
Run to Target.
Men's Warehouse or something. Yeah. No, I mean... And so I call down to the concierge. I mean, it's like a not a fancy hotel. So I call down and I'm like, what do I do? And they're like, they're like, the only thing you can do, I think, is go to is probably like it was the Monmouth. You have to go to New York. You basically have to drive and cross over into New York, where they don't have Blue Laws, and you can buy a shirt there. So I send Michelle.
It's part of an ordinance that these stores aren't open on Sunday.
Yeah. So I like take my suit with me. I'm like in street clothes now. I drive like a bat out of nowhere to New York. I cross into the promised land and go to this mall, to like a Macy's or something, and I go in carrying like my suit bag. And I go to the guy and I find this person. I say, I've got to get to a wedding. I need to buy a shirt. Like I'm going to try but I'm going to not only like wear it out, but I'm going to put this suit on, and I need you to make sure that security doesn't tackle me.
Right. Yeah.
Because I'm going to be wearing out the thing. Right. So if it fits, I'm keeping it on, and I'm wearing it out. I was like, and he gave me this. I mean, he was like, okay, weirdo.
I gotta think the guys that work in places like that shouldn't faze you. That's got to not be the first time that's happened.
Maybe,
especially on Sundays or a weekend or whatever.
Yeah, probably, and so I get. They should charge extra on those Sundays, probably for dress shirts or something. So I do it. I end up back at the wedding, but not. I basically get there at the very tail end of the ceremony.
Yeah,
I missed the whole ceremony. Right. Michelle didn't because she was there, and so I was there in time to go to, a little reception thing. So I meet up with Michelle. We go into this room, and they have it's like the stations thing. Where you have like these food stations set up, and there's there's open bar and everything, and it's lovely, it's wonderful, and we're eating, and of course you're hungry,
Yeah.
Because I hadn't learned the rule at that point that, you always eat a sandwich before you go to a wedding. And so, you're hungry and I'm eating this food and it's lovely. And we're waiting for the bride and groom to emerge and stuff. And we're wondering what is taking so long, blah, blah, blah. And then at some point, these doors open and they invite us into this other room, this bigger room.
Okay.
Which is where the actual reception is going to take. This was like the pre-reception.
Yeah.
Dude, I was so full. I ate so much food in the little pre-reception thing.
Yeah.
That I could it was like a sit down, like they bringing you the food to you, and I'm like, I can't not eat this food.
Yeah.
I was so like stuffed to the point of being like almost like sick stuff. That feeling you get when you feel like a kid and you eat too much candy kind of feeling. Like it was rough. It was a rough day. It was a rough day.
In your shirt with the square wrinkles because it just came out of the package.
I mean, I was like it buttoned the whole time. Because you got that one little area that you're hoping is covered by the tie, and then it's not.
And there's like one straight pin that you didn't find. It's like it's digging in your neck or something. Why are they still selling shirts like that with 35 straight pins and then the why is it just on a hanger? It's okay.
Is there a machine that inserts those pins, or is a human being actually putting all those pins in? Because their fingers just must be bleeding all the time.
Gotta be, or they're little tiny
little
people.
Thimbles.
Maybe.
They have little thimbles. I don't know.
They got a gun. Pat. But like, why? That is like the most inconvenient way. And every button is buttoned.
Every button's buttoned.
It's like
every button.
Like, and then there's sheets of cardboard in there.
Mm-hmm. And then the collar cardboard.
Yeah, and the plastic thing that's like
the plastic thing across the center. Right, why?
What is all of this?
I have to wash and I have to it's okay that it's going to get laundered and pressed anyway.
Right, because most of the reason that you're going to need to press it is because of the way it's packaged. It's wrinkled as hell. When you get it out of that package, what's the point?
I saw Harrison Ford in it must have been one of the Tom Clancy movies, and I remember him. He works for the NSA, and I remember him like sleeping in his office or something, and he opens his desk drawer and he pulls out he's got boxed shirts, basically like folded shirts in there, and he pulls it out and he's like changing his shirt, and I just remember wanting to call BS on that. I was like, you know what? You know what that shirt's gonna look? Because I've done the box shirt thing in an attempt to be able to pot, it helps with packing and stuff. It's wrinkled. Your shirt's wrinkled.
Wrinkled as hell too.
I mean, not wrinkled like in the sense that like it comes out of the dryer and it needs to be pressed. No, it's just got squares all over it.
Specific wrinkles, yeah. And but the sleeves, the way the sleeves are done, those are wrinkled all to hell.
You can't. Shirts don't look right like that.
No.
The dry cleaners will say, "Do you want it? Do you want your shirts hung or boxed?" Or I'm like, "Why would I have you boxed? Why would I beg you? If you fold these shirts, I'm gonna have to bring them back to you."
Right. You're ironing them out or pressing them, whatever, and then you're immediately on purpose wrinkling them up again. What is that about?
Right. Not to mention, this dry cleaner I go to is called like the Best Dry Cleaners or something like that. They're probably all called that, right?
Yeah. It's like finding the original Pancake House. There isn't one.
Right. But this place, I don't know why I keep going back. That's the other thing. Why do we keep going back to places that disappoint us?
Well, because especially with the dry cleaner, they're all the same, man. There's not one that's different. That it's like, this is a different style of dry cleaner. No, they all do the exact same thing in the exact same way.
Place always screws up the pressing of the collar area. They always it's like they get that one little piece. It's like something gets mispressed, and so it's a little. You're like, that's the most important part.
Right? Yeah. When there's a thing on one side and a thing on the other side,
I would iron it myself, except for the collar. The collar is the hardest part. The collar in that little spot in the back. That's the hardest part. If you can't get that right, I might as well do it myself.
Yeah, the little pleat thing in the back. Yeah.
Yeah, the pleat thing. Right.
Yeah. At what point do you stop creasing it and start pressing it as though it's a single piece? That's a hard question to answer, man.
I think they lobbied the cloth making. What do they call the textile industry or something? I don't. They lobbied them and had that added. I think they're like legally obligated to include that little pleat, so that they ensure that people will bring their dress shirts to press. Yeah, I think that's why they did it. I think that's the only. It can be the only reason.
I have no doubt of that.
Also, why do they plan? There's the planned obsolescence when it comes to buttons. Why else do they give you the extra buttons?
Yeah, they know that those suckers are going to come off of there.
How about you just improve?
And the thing is, they put them in the same spot that they put the ones that are going to break, so they're just going to break.
Probably more likely because they're down in an area that gets a lot of
right. This is
motion
thing, and then you pull out the thing, and it gets caught on like maybe your belt or something. I mean, what's that? It's like giving you 3 batteries and an extra battery that's also inserted into the thing and pulling power off of it.
And you get and you only get 2. Like they give you 1 regular button for your
collar button
and 1 collar button, but it got 2 collars and
then you got like 8 regular buttons. What is that, man?
And there's no standard to it. You can't go to the button store and get like a standard. Oh, I just need a standard dress shirt button. Well,
right. And I'm like, well,
I mean, this one that looks like the mother.
And you look at the thing; it looks like a friggin' New York Public Library card catalog
it's like Legos.
Freaking buttons.
It's like Legos, right? It's like that wall of Legos in Disney Springs, right? So this place I go, I have such anxiety. I there's something about parting with your clothing to begin with, especially because stuff you typically take to the dry cleaners or it's nicer stuff, right? You're not taking your T-shirts there. Most people aren't.
Yeah.
But it's so fun, I'm like, I'm handing this over, and this place.
Oh, man,
they give me a little receipt thing, but they don't give me a count.
Yeah, that's true.
But the places I've taken to another locations have always gotten a count.
Oh, really?
And some places will even be very specific, like this many of this kind of clothing and this many of this kind of.
You get that almost like sushi order thing where it's like you check off I got 3 of these,
and I like that.
Like you would give them to the people at like a hotel or whatever. Then
yes.
Do people use that service?
Oh, I've done. Oh, yeah. I was using it regularly when I went to California. It was like a superpower, Marcus. When there was a Hyatt house there. Hyatt Place. I would go to, and they had that service, and I didn't do it for the longest time. I would do the whole pressing myself thing, and then not myself but my clothes, and I discovered this thing. I'm like, oh. This thing I always ignore hanging on the bag that I use for dirty laundry. I don't know about you, but I always use it for
always. I got it in my bag right now.
Right. So I was like, oh, I could just send as long as I have 1 shirt, like the first day shirt, I can send all the other shirts to get pressed because they have like a press only service. You don't have to have it. Clean.
Yeah.
And so it makes it's so less stressful when you're packing and I'm just going to send it to get pressed when I get to the hotel. And it is such a luxury. It is like one of the best things you can do for yourself.
I've used it once, and it was one of those things where like I packed a suit and I needed it for that evening. It was like my company's Christmas gathering thing. And I got to the hotel in which it was going to be, and it was going to be that night. And I was like, how long does it take you guys to turn around a suit if I send it to you? And it was going to be like within an hour of when the thing I was going to be expected to be down there. And it was like, I've got no other option, right? Because I'm not pressing a suit. I will press a shirt, but I do not trust myself pressing a suit. And I don't even
the
know
suit
the
is
first
meant to cover up the errors I made in pressing the shirt.
Right, exactly. And I don't know how to press like a jacket, where you can. I mean, how do you get? I don't know. You need like special apparati to do that.
Because you don't want like a pleat or something. You don't want to have a. And
you sure as heck don't want a double crease on your trousers, where it makes a little mesa. There instead of like a good, nice, sharp.
Unless
crease.
you're Colorado casual.
Yeah, apparently that's.
In which case, a mesa may be a thing.
But that, and then I'm not even entirely sure, because whatever suit fabric isn't a fabric that is used in anything other than suits. And so I'm never quite sure if I'm going to be burning the crap out of this or whatever.
Right,
I mean, you
right.
look at
what
it,
setting do I use for this?
You feel it, and you're like, that doesn't feel like wool. So I don't know. And so I have to have them do it. And so you're kind of sweating bullets as to whether or not they were, talking out their butts about how long it was going to take them to do it, just to be like sort of that marketing mindset of promising things you can't deliver on. But yeah, I mean, they did end up getting it back to me in time. And like you said, it feels like, wow, this was awesome. This was the way to go. But but yeah, it's amazing how universal that laundry thing is in all of the hotel rooms. And then like every hotel room, like Holiday Inn Express has these things. And it's like, and it's such an antiquated thing, because that deal you fill out is like a carbon paper thing. And it's like, this is the only place people are using carbon paper anymore. It's amazing.
And then you have to take it downstairs.
Yeah.
Typically, unless it's a nicer place and they'll come and pick it up, like if you leave it out. You take it downstairs and then and I almost feel like embarrassed, like because I remember the first time I did it, I don't know if embarrassed, but again anxious. Like I'm handing this over, like, is this really going to work? Like, is that
right?
Like,
were you serious when you put this in the room?
And she said, like, did you put the piece of paper in the thing? Like, yeah, but like, how?
And I pulled the perforated.
This is all my clothes. I'm handing you all of my clothes. Like,
right. Are you going to hand it to somebody and then I'm not going to see him again, or what's going to happen here?
Right. No, I mean, if you're in a city, then you can go shop if you needed to go shopping or something.
I guess,
you can do that.
But I mean, I bought my clothes because I like them, and I'd like to have them back.
Yes, but I don't know what I'm going to do. This is a conundrum, and in some ways, I almost want to be like, you know what? I'm just going to do whatever I want, and if you don't like it, you didn't give me any direction.
There you go. Yeah.
And there you have it. I mean, what? I don't know. Do I wear what kind of pants do I have to wear a suit? Can I wear a jacket? And some of the do I have to wear a tie? Because Colorado casual typically doesn't mean, like, no one wears ties in Colorado.
Well, that's
unless you're like
thing.
In the banking industry in Denver, and that's what I don't know. Like
I already sort of take issue with the
8,000 feet.
I'm casual crap. Like let's not start cutesy bull here. It's like, you go out to San Francisco or whatever, and you see these restaurants that serve California cuisine. Oh, bite me! Just tell me what it is. Don't get cute with the, it's our state thing. It's this, we're just so unique here that we have our thing that's named for our state. We're not going to describe it, but you're just supposed to kind of know. And it's like I listened to this podcast that was talking about the you can get this mix of flavored popcorn that's like half cheese and half caramel, and
wait, like each individual thing is half and half, or it's divided.
You take one scoop of cheese and one scoop of caramel and shake it up. Yeah. And
so it is mixed.
It's mixed together, but each kernel isn't both. You know what I mean?
That's just as bad. I mean,
it doesn't sound great, but the podcast host is from Chicago, and he was all like, "Oh, Chicago mix. That's Chicago mix is what that's called." And then this other person was like, "Dude, only people from Chicago think that's called Chicago mix."
It was like the Maryland fried chicken.
Yeah, it's like stop it. Nobody else calls it that. But,
I looked up in Urban Dictionary, and
Chicago
which
mix?
is always
I hesitate
I do not want to do that for Colorado casual, and it said Colorado. I should read this before I actually say it out loud. Okay, Colorado casual, also known as John Denver formal, usually includes a long sleeve button up shirt, stripes or a plus, tucked into Wrangler jeans or any Wrangler-esque brand, accompanied by a brown belt. Shoes can range anywhere from Nike trainers to cowboy boots, so express yourself. That's even less helpful.
Again.
And I don't think I'm supposed to be in Colorado casual being in the wedding.
Nothing uniquely Colorado about that. I'm from Arkansas. That describes everything there, too. It's bothersome when one state decides that that's their thing, and then everybody else is like, well, we do that, too. And they're like, no. Colorado casual.
Yeah,
Stop. Quit it.
Yeah, this is a problem.
You guys have mountains and stuff. There's plenty of things to be proud of in Colorado that you can put your name on, like Denver. Go ahead and put your name on Denver. That's fine because it's only in Colorado. If there was a Denver, if Denver was in every other state too, then it would be stupid to call it a Colorado thing. But it's not, so there you go. Go for it.
Yeah.
Jeans and a striped shirt, however.
Especially a striped shirt.
Not unique to Colorado.
No. Yeah. This is going to be frustratingly difficult. Like I don't even know what colored pants to wear.
Apparently Wrangler blue.
Right. Maybe corduroy. I don't know. Like seems very Colorado.
And you have to thank God that you are a country boy.
Yes. Mountain mama. Yeah. Okay. Well, there's that. There's. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. There's something else I wanted to tell you about. Do we still have time? How are we doing with time?
Yeah, a little bit.
We're okay.
It's a big thing. Thing. We didn't do the cereal episode like we were planning. Maybe that'll be next one.
Oh, I feel like I have to. That right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a special. I think that needs a little more time. I think.
Okay.
Well, I think this one kind of goes together. It's like, and it kind of it's sort of about shirts, but it's like the lack thereof. Uh-huh. And this is from a walking situation. You know, one of my daily walk things, and this was there was this. There's those guys who go for runs without the shirts on. You know, they're like and some of them, you're like, okay, dude, you just like ran out of a page of Men's Health or something.
Yeah.
And then there's the guy you're like, you probably should put a shirt on.
Yeah, that's we're borderline public decency things here.
Yeah, just because you're a man doesn't mean you should. Right? I mean, but they're exercising, they're running. You're so like, I get it. Fine.
Yeah.
Okay, it's Florida, it's hot, right? But
it's not grocery shopping at least.
Yeah, I saw something I have never seen before.
What's
the other day, and that was this guy, and I think he's from another country, but maybe Russia. He looked like kind of like a Vladimir Putin kind of guy, and Vladimir is known to like walk around without or ride horses without shirts. Yeah, exactly. So maybe he's like that's his idol or something. I don't know, but he was shirtless. He was pale, not built in any. I mean, he didn't have. I wouldn't say like a dad bod, but he was on his way to a dad bod kind of thing, and he was pushing like a baby carriage, like a stroller thing, he was like pushing one of those big strollers.
Huh. Okay.
With no shirt on, and it just felt gratuitous. Like what? Like what are you doing? You're not even pretending to exercise. Like, you're also going to burn.
Yeah. So do you think it was like an attempt to be more, I don't know, hip and active as a counterpoint to the stroller that he was pushing? Just trying to pull back some of those, I don't know, lame parent points and put them back into the I'm still attractive, I swear to God.
I don't know, but I'm thinking like, could you pull this off in Eastern Europe? Like, I don't think this is something you can get away with in Slovakia. Like, it's not going to happen there.
Yeah.
I've never seen any pictures from like Budapest of people walking around men walking around shirtless. Like, it's not going to happen. So like here, why? And then I don't know what to do with my eyes either.
Right.
Because you know how I like to make eye contact and say hi to people.
And he's no doubt extremely white. So he is certainly the thing in your field of view that is the brightest.
Right. Yes. So other than the sun.
Right.
Yes.
And the sun reflected off of that. That's a very.
But I don't know what. I'm also like kind of because it's like kind of a shocking thing. Like almost like if somebody has something weird hanging off their face and you're like, I don't want to stare at that. I want to say hi to you, but I also don't want to stare at the thing.
Right. But you don't want to be obviously looking away from the thing either when you say hi to him. So he looks at you and you're like, what's up? You know?
Yes, you know? Right. Right. So I don't want to look at this man's glistening chest. He's walking by with a stroller. And I just want to like I feel like I should start carrying around shirts to hand out.
Here you go, buddy.
Like, here you go. Here you go.
There you go. No judgment. Here you go.
It was just weird.
Europeans are weird in that regard with what they do not wear and stuff. When I was I went to space camp, and this was my summer between junior and senior year of high school, and we had a guy there from the Netherlands, and really awesome guy, and very much one of those Men's Health kind of dudes. And every morning, like, we lived in what was called the Hab, or the Habitat, and the guys' floor was on the second floor and the girls' floor was on the third floor. But it was kind of like one of those indoor hotels, kind of like the way Contemporary is set up, to where you've got the rooms facing an indoor multi-floor space, and you can see across the thing. So anybody walking in between the rooms can be seen by pretty much everybody else in the Hab. And so this dude, his name was Sam, he would go to the communal showers just wearing some of those little bikini underwear things. And he'd have his towel
like the
over his
Riviera
shoulder.
and Impressions de France.
Exactly. Yeah. He would just like, and this was, of course, very popular with the third floor. And so one of the counselors,
he knew exactly what he was doing too.
And you just wait. Okay. One of the counselors took him aside and was like, look, when you go to the shower and when you're coming back from the shower, we need you to wear a little more. And he was like, okay, no problem, you know. And so the next time he came out in his bikini underwear and some sunglasses.
Yes,
still Facebook friends with that guy.
Oh, really? That's awesome. That's brilliant. You gotta love people like. So the same day I saw this dude. Something else that made me smile was there's something I love about this. It's when you catch an adult flying a kite by themselves,
you sent me a
without any
that.
children. It's not like they're flying a kite with a kid, or it's like they're just flying a kite
just because they like flying kites.
And this guy was, and it was the best. It was like this not a very fancy kite, and he was running. He was like this middle-aged dude, like running up the sidewalk trying to get it aloft, you know, like just like, and he's so happy.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, that's amazing. Like, we need more people like you.
Just unabashed delight at something very simple.
And I can't even wrap my head around it. Like, I'm so jealous of that, because I can't even imagine like sitting at home and saying to myself, I'm going to go fly a kite.
Something people in the 60s used to tell you to do when they wanted you to leave them alone.
right. I mean,
fly a kite. Ooh, good idea.
Yeah, I mean, I think most people, I would say they would think something's wrong if I said,
I don't even know where you go to get a kite.
Unless they're at the beach, right, on the boardwalk.
Yeah, they got them, kite stores. Those things.
Yeah. But that's a good question.
Or, you know, the ones that are made out of the same material they used to make kid Halloween costumes out of, and it's like Batman or whatever, kite, and then you fly it up, and then it rips,
lands in the tree and it rips, and
There's one tree with like 3 or 4 of those kites in it, and that weird. It's a thing that's like only used in kites, but those square plastic hollow rods that go, that they would put those plastic ones together with. Because I remember back in the 80s, we had some kind of a like artisanal kite store that was close to our house that actually had pretty good, like, it was 80s, so everything was like a primary color and then sort of a patchwork thing, but it was like,
of course,
not a parachute fabric, but something along those lines, a little thicker than that, and they were really, really good. And I think the kite store was called Go Fly a Kite, but they were like, they knew some like kite terminology. They were like, you want a delta kite or a diamond kite, Oh,
you're like, well, which is superior?
Flying kite.
I want one. Right. I want the kind. Which one will stay up the longest?
And then they had like stunt kites that had two.
Oh, the stunt kites are cool, right?
Two strings, and you could like spin it around and stuff, and people were good at that. But then my stepbrother got one, and all he could do is make it dive first into the ground. Up and well, good trick. Well, that's all we got.
Yeah, I feel like like now I saw it and I'm like, yeah, I want to. But I also get anxious when I fly kites. I know that's not surprising because I'm just constantly afraid that I'm going to lose it.
Yeah.
So I don't think I could ever have a nice kite.
The spools of the kite string.
It gets so close.
As you get close to the end, you're like, did they tie this off or did they not? I don't know now. and so you're
so you can't let it out all the way.
Let it out all the way. Well, I'm going to find out. I lost. I don't want it to be like the. Yeah.
I don't want it to be like the Mickey balloon.
I lost one of my actual cool go fly a kite kites like that.
Really?
My Delta kite. It was a Delta kite. I don't know if that's good or.
Did they serve beef jerky?
They did. They did. Beef jerky and crappy Chex Mix. So I'm kind of glad it's gone, to be honest.